Hello students, today we are going to see the remaining entrapment techniques of your RBC. So next one is the pre-swell dilution technique. So here as the name indicates, pre-swelling of your RBC will takes place. So normally we are going to swell after the lysis formation has takes place, but in this before only we are going to swell the RBC. So this technology is based on the principle of first swelling the erythrocytes without lysis, that is no breakdown will be there. First they will be swelling by placing them in slightly hypotonic solution. So slightly hypotonic solution is nothing but the solution which is having the low osmotic pressure. So when you keep any cells in slightly hypotonic solution, the cells will absorb this tonicity and they will start swelling slowly. So then the cells will be swollen. So the swollen cells will be recovered by centrifugation. So whatever the liquid that is there along with your drug as well as your erythrocytes will be taken into a centrifuge tube. Okay, so you are taking the centrifuge tube. So in this you are keeping your hypotonic solution along with your drug along with your RBC. Okay, then the cells will be swollen, so you are going to take that cells out. Okay, then afterwards small amount of aqueous drug solution is added to the point of lysis. Okay, so first we have going to add the hypotonic solution along with the RBC, then afterwards we want the drug to be loaded, so then we are going to add the drug to this centrifuge tube. Then afterwards what happens, the cells will be swollen again because of centrifugation, and also we are adding the hypotonic solution. Slowly the cells will be swollen. Slow swelling results in good retention of cytoplasmic constituents. So by the use of this centrifugation and slow swelling, cytoplasmic constituents will be recovered, that is the hemoglobin percentage will be recovered in the cells only. Then afterwards you have to take this erythrocyte suspension. So whatever the solution that is there after the swelling, you have to take again into a centrifuge tube. So you have to take only 2 ml of the erythrocyte suspension and you have to centrifuge it 1000 rpm for 10 minutes at 4 degrees centigrade to obtain the packed erythrocytes. Packed erythrocytes are nothing but you are going to get a lump of your erythrocytes. Okay, then how you are, so after you all know that after the centrifugation process the two layers will be separated. The first layer will be the plasma layer and the second layer the packed cells will be there. Okay, now you want only the packed cells after the centrifugation process. Okay, you have to take that, the supernatant is liquid, whatever the plasma or something whichever serum is there, so you will be removing that, and the packed cells you are going to take. So for this packed cells you are going to add 4 ml of 0.65% NaCl solution. So here 0.65% NaCl solution is known as the hypoosmotic pre-swelling solution. So again we are going for the swelling process. Okay, then afterwards you are going to mix it. The mixed solution is centrifuged at 600 rpm for 5 minutes to recover the swollen cells. Again the cells will be swelling, we are going to recover it. Then the supernatant will be discarded and the cells are placed, and these plates will be placed again in the aqueous drug solution. So here in this process we are going to place the cells in 2 points of drug solution. Okay, first point, here we are going to add the drug solution here, and here also we are going to add the aqueous drug solution. At 2 points we are going to add the drug solution. Then afterwards it will reach a point of lysis, so the disruption of the membrane will be taking place. Then a thin layer of white ghost will be observed. So I have already told you about the ghost. Ghost is nothing but a cell which is absent of your hemoglobin. Okay, that is called as the ghost cells. Okay, so why we are calling it as ghost cells means, so after continuous centrifugation process the cytoplasmic contents will be released and your no contents of your cytoplasm will be there in your RBC, such that it will be empty RBC will be present. So those cells are called as the ghost cells. So in that ghost cell we are going to pack the drug in that. Okay, next after 10 minutes these cells are placed in the hypertonic saline solution to restore your isotonicity. So the isotonicity will be disturbed, and also for reasoning purpose you have to place in the isotonic solution. So that's why we are keeping in the isotonic solution and incubated at 37 degrees centigrade for 10 minutes. Then afterwards finally we are going to wash 3 times to remove any unentrapped drug. So if any unentrapped drug is remaining on the surface of your RBC, it will be removed. For that purpose we are going to wash for 3 times. Next finally the cells are finally suspended in the phosphate buffer solution to get the final resealed erythrocyte. So this is the diagrammatic representation. So here this is an RBC. So this is the drug materials or the drug particles which are to be loaded into your RBC. Then we are going to place in the hypotonic medium, that is the slow swelling of the process will be taking place, and after that some centrifugation process will be taking place. After that the lysis will be taking place and the exchange of the intracellular and extracellular components will be taking place. Then afterwards we are going to place in the isotonic medium, that is 0.9% NaCl solution, to get your resealing of your erythrocytes. Then afterwards finally the RBC will be loaded with your desired drug. Okay, this is about your pre-swell dilution technique. Okay, next one we are going to see the isotonic osmotic lysis technique. So here isotonic osmotic lysis technique is nothing but we are going to take the erythrocytes along with the drug solution and place in the propylene glycol. Okay, so we are not disturbing any isotonicity or not adding any hypoosmotic or hyperosmotic solutions. Directly we are placing in the propylene glycol solution. So what this propylene glycol will do means, without disturbing any isotonicity, the drug will be diffusing from outer to inner layer. Okay, so if you think this is an RBC cell, okay, so whatever the drug is there from outside to inside, it will go by placing this complete RBC in your propylene glycol medium. So whatever the drug solution is there, it will be slowly diffusing from outside to inside environment. Next, by lysing, by which process slowly it will lyse, and by the process of diffusion it will go inside. Lysed RBC are resealed by placing the cells in glycol free medium. That is nothing but you can use any isotonic solutions or glycol free medium will be there to regain your cells. So this is another method, that is isoosmotic lysis technique. Next, electrical breakdown. So here electric breakdown, as the name indicates, electrical breakdown. So we are passing some electrical impulses to the membrane of your RBC such that your drug will be loaded into your RBC. So here electrical breakdown of cell membrane occurs by applying internal electric field pulse to the cell's suspension. Okay, so you are going to take some suspension of your RBC along with any medium. So here we are going to pass some electrical impulses. So when you apply the electrical impulses, what happens, the membrane will be getting ruptured or the lysis formation will be taking place. Then afterwards the surrounding drug will be entering into that. Then afterwards you are going to pre-sealing by keeping the cells in the isotonic medium. Okay, so in this process what happens means, when you apply the electrical pulses, some aqueous pores will be formed on the surface of the membrane. So here the aqueous forms are formed with diameter of 1 nanometer and occurs when cells are subjected to electrical impulses of few kV per centimeter or around 20 micron per second. So for about 20 micron per second you have to apply the electrical impulses. When you apply the electrical impulses, the RBC surface, that is the cell membrane, that is RBC membrane, will be getting ruptured. That is nothing but the lysis formation takes place. Then the drug will be loaded in that. Okay, the membrane ruptures and the drug will be loaded into your respective RBC. Okay, this is another method, that is electrical breakdown. The simple process, just we are applying only the electrical impulses to the surface of your RBC and we are going to disrupt the cell membrane. We are loading the drug in that. Again we are going to reseal that. Okay, next, endocytosis. You have already know what is mean by endocytosis, the pinching off process, that is endocytosis, or which is called as engulfing of the material. So here what happens means, so you can see this. So if this is an RBC cell, surrounding drug particles will be there. So what it is going to do means, the cell surface will be there, no? So it will undergo the process called as endocytosis. That is, it will entrap all the drug materials into itself and it forms a pinch like structure inside that and load the drug slowly by the process of endocytosis. Okay, this process is called as endocytosis. This method is efficient for loading large particles such as viruses. We can load the viruses, we can load the enzymes also. In this vesicle membrane separates the endocytosed substance from cytoplasm containing drug. The contents of the vesicles release the erythrocyte cytoplasm, which is nothing but the normal process, that is endocytosis process. You also know how to do the endocytosis, that is nothing but the pinching of your drug. Okay, it will engulf the surface membrane of your RBC, will engulf the surrounding drug particles and it will pinch off and load the drug into your RBC. Okay, next one is the membrane perturbation method. So some drugs like amphotericin B, which is nothing but it is an antibiotic. So these antibiotics will be loaded by the membrane perturbation method. So here nothing but same as like that, we are taking an RBC, the material to be encapsulated is loaded in that and we are placing in some hypotonic solutions in that. So the lysis formation will take place and exchange of the intracellular and extracellular substances will be taking place and the drug will be loaded in that. Again for resealing purpose, you are going to place in 0.9% NaCl solution, then you will get the resealed erythrocytes. Just you have to remember that membrane perturbation method is only applicable to load the antibiotics, especially the amphotericin B. Okay, next one is normal transport mechanism. Normal transport mechanism, the general mechanism, that is erythrocytes you are going to place in the drug solution. So here in this process we are not going to do the lysis method, just we are incubating it. Okay, so the erythrocytes as well as the drug solution will be incubating for a varied period of time without disrupting the erythrocyte membrane, and the drug will get diffused in the erythrocyte. So by the process of diffusion, when you incubate the erythrocytes with the drug solution, slowly the drug will be entering into your erythrocytes, that is nothing but RBC. Okay, so by the process of diffusion only it will be occurring. Next one is the lipid fusion method. So you have studied about the liposomes. So the vesicles will be forming, so the formation of, that is nothing but the combination of your RBC with your liposomes. So the liposomes will carry the drug materials, and these lipids, which is nothing but the liposomes, along with your RBC, they will fuse together. Okay, fuse together means nothing but this RBC will go and attach to your liposomes. Okay, so if you think these are the liposomes, so it will come and attach at this point. So what happens, this membrane ruptures, whatever the drug content is there inside this inside this liposomes will be entering into this RBC cells. Okay, slowly. So that process is called as a lipid fusion method. So lipid fusion is nothing but fusion of your lipid along with your RBC. So here how the drug content is exchanged means, so the cell membranes will be fused together, this will be ruptured, and the aqueous drug, whatever the drug is present inside these liposomes will be entering into your RBC. So this method is used, and main disadvantage of this method is that low oxygen affinity for hemoglobin will be present and low encapsulation efficiency will be present. So here they are mentioning that low encapsulation efficiency means by the process of loading, some phospholipids may not be completely disintegrated during this process. So some amount of drug will be inside this liposomes only. So only some amount of drug will be loaded into your RBC. So that's why this is the major disadvantage, that low encapsulation efficiency will be there when you go for this method. Next, the last one is the osmotic pulse method or incubation method. So same as like that incubation method, so we are going to take the RBC suspension and we are going to incubate a different concentration of dimethyl sulfoxide, that is nothing but your DMSO, with different hematocrit values. So I have already told about hematocrit value is nothing but the percentage of RBC in your suspension. Okay, some will have 2%, 3%, 4%. So you are going to take the different percentage of your hematocrit values along with different concentration of your dimethyl sulfoxide. So you are going to incubate that. The RBC solution will be incubated with along with these substances. So what happens means, in step 1 DMSO incubation will be there. In step 2 isotonic dilution with material to be encapsulated, that is nothing but we are going to place the cells in the isotonic medium, okay, along with the drug materials. So afterwards in the step 3 what happens, post dilution incubation with cellular swelling. So that is nothing but cells will be getting swelled as you are placing the RBC in your isotonic solution. Then swelling occurs means automatically the exchange of your intercellular and extracellular components will take place and the drug will be loaded into that. And afterward the step 4 is resealing. The resealing process will be done by placing in your 0.9% NaCl solution, that is nothing but your isotonic solution. Then afterwards resealing process will be taking place. So these are all the entrapment methods of your RBC. So these entrapment methods will come under your formulation of your RBC. If I told you to write about your formulation of RBC, that is nothing but your resealed erythrocytes, you have to mention all these 11 side headings, okay, up to osmotic pulse method or incubation method. So this completes your formulation of your RBC. The remaining evaluation and the application will be seen in your later lectures. Thank you.